around new and upcoming artists with Jesse F. Daniels. Only on Pulse
Radio.
Hello, welcome to the Underground. My name is Jesse F. Daniels, your host today for Pulse 87 NY and 96.7 Las Vegas. She's here now, and with us on the line, we have Xenia Ghali. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And the reason I say that you're here now is because we're already playing your track Broken on Pulse right now. We debuted it a few months ago on the New Music Monday. It's a record that's released on Pitbull's label, right? As well as your own Funky Sheep Records. Tell us how it is being, not only signed to a label of a, superstar and creating your own label too. What's that like? Tell us.
I don't really have any words to describe what an honor it is to be, under Pitbull's label, and the fact that he believes in me and what I do and my music, and this track is beyond anything I could have ever imagined or hoped for. So it's fantastic. I'm very happy to include my own record label in this because the fact that I have a label, and I could still be putting my music out through that is very important to me as that grows with me as well.
Awesome. I mean, you're not only a DJ, but a producer as well. What did you start doing first, DJing or producing?
Well, I was originally classically trained on piano and flute. Before I did any of that, I started playing music before even writing or producing or DJing. And after that, I picked up guitar and formed a band, and that's when I started songwriting. And obviously after songwriting came producing, and very, very shortly came the DJing, because I was producing a lot of electronic-based music, a lot of house music, and I was very infatuated by the whole DJ scene while living in Europe. So that's when I started DJing with vinyl, actually. It was quite funny. I refused to DJ with CDs or laptop, and I bought 2 Technics turntables while in college in the UK and just started spinning on vinyl and turntables and, producing.
Nice. I want to know a little bit more about your story behind your first turntables, all right? I know every DJ remembers the first time, but first, let's drop this track right now so people can hear it and enjoy it. This is Broken by Xenia Ghali right here on Pulse 87 NY and 96.7 Las Vegas.
Dirty lies that speak the truth. Broken hearts that never bruise. Your words are glass, now I can see right through. And the damage that's been done belongs to you. And your chains will never hold me, 'cause my heart's already gone. Eyes wide open, rest of me and left the rest of me, and I don't need you anymore. I found the best of me and left the rest of me, and I don't need you anymore. You said I'd always be broken. 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 You said I'd always be.
So we're talking to Xenia Ghali, the artist behind Broken, featuring Kat Rocco. And we have you on the line here in the underground for Pulse 87 NY and 96.7 Las Vegas. And we're talking about your first time buying turntables. The first turn. I'm sure every DJ remembers that day exactly. Describe that day for us. What was that like?
Yes, it's actually very true. I was in England at the time. I was studying for my bachelor's degree in creative music technology. And I had started, it was back during the time when drum and bass and dubstep were actually underground scenes. So I used to go to all these sort of underground parties, you know, and rave parties and whatever. And I used to see all these DJs spinning with vinyl.
A rare occasion, you know, now.
A very rare occasion, yes. So I just like watched them, you know, and it was more than DJing. It was like, it was a performance, and that's what I loved about it, because often people misinterpret what a DJ does in that he just sits there hitting the play button, you know, and then the next button for the next song. But that's really not what DJs do. And it was so obvious to me when I would see these DJs spinning on vinyl, you know, and turntables, watching them actually physically move the records back and forth, you know, and beat match and juggle and scratch and this and that. So I went back to my dorm room and I just couldn't get that out of my head. So I went on a type of Craigslist. It was quite funny. And I started looking for secondhand turntables because obviously I was in college, you know, I was on a budget or whatever. So I found this guy who was selling a couple of MK1210s. It was 2 for the price of 1, I remember. So I jumped on that and contacted him. I saved up some money. I contacted him, and it turned out that they weren't even secondhand. They were out of the box turntables. Whoa. That he just wanted to get rid of, you know? So he was just selling them as cheap as he could. And I picked them up and picked up a 2-channel mixer, set it up in my dorm room, went to a local record store, picked up 5 Chicago house records, and just started teaching myself how to, you know, beat match and DJ on vinyl. And I still have those same, I'm looking at them right now, actually. I still have those turntables.
Oh, that's great.
They're my babies.
What a good story. What do you think is the main concern of a DJ, like a live DJ?
The most important part, I believe, and I think a lot of DJs would agree, is that you are able to communicate the energy and the feeling that the crowd wants in that specific time or venue. So, you know, the program and the music and, you know, the energy that you're sending off to the people who are there is priority number 1. You know, you don't want a club that's just kind of looking at you, you know, no matter how good, you know, you're doing what you're doing. And it is a skill, you know, it's a skill to be able to read, you know, what people like, what people want, you know, what's going to get the crowd going.
Nice. And so if anybody wants to find more information about you or your music, they can visit XeniaGhali.com. That's spelled XeniaGhali.com. Thank you so much for sharing your music and your story here with us on Pulse 87 NY 96.7 Las Vegas. Is there anything else that you want to mention before we go?
Well, thank you very, very much for supporting the record. I hope everybody embraces it as much as you do. This is Xenia Ghali, and you're listening to Pulse 87 NY and Pulse 96.7 Las Vegas. 7 Las Vegas.